All right, are you? I
What's
can hear you now.
what second are you at?
18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24.
Okay.
This is what's
You
called
lied.
ad hoc stuff is happening. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, you're in 865, right?
Um,
13602-865. It's Team Who versus Shrek is Love.
yeah.
Right. And Team Who is on the Legion side.
Magnus.
Wait, what?
What?
No. It's Null versus Tree.
I switched it. Because Zibbe
Well,
casted that one, and I didn't realize it.
yeah, but you didn't type anything to me.
I gave you new match IDs.
Where?
So I said, okay,
Okay.
so apparently this is casted, and then I was a sad face, and then it was 1302, 13602-865, 026865. It's right there. It's fine.
I see.
We are so goddamn professional. Hi everybody. We're back. What a return to casting
Oh my
for
God.
me. Isn't it? Isn't this great?
Rhapsody.
We're halfway through the draft. Oh well. Presumably, at some point, BoarBeater will get his stuff together. But in the meantime, it's a glorious return. I've been gone for 2 weeks. Sorry about that. I hope everybody missed me. Everybody in the co-caster chat certainly seems to have missed me.
Glaciers.
Yeah.
We mostly missed the giveaways.
Yeah. I still haven't given many more codes. I still have a couple left, but nothing else. So hopefully they'll last a little bit longer. I guess I have to ask for more. Oh well. We have a game going on here, and are you in it yet or close?
Yeah, what time?
I'm at on the replay 223, 224, 225, 226, 27, 28, 30, 29, 30, 31. 22.
Okay.
Right. So it's been a while since I've cast anything, so forgive me if I'm a little bit rusty.
Yeah, for me to forgive you.
Yeah, specifically, and also, generally people who might be watching this, because there's a really good chance I'll be wasting your time with really, really terrible stuff. I don't even know what happened. I have not watched or played HoN in 2 weeks, so that's a pretty crazy break for me. Anyway, yeah, we're halfway through a draft right here. Dr. Repulsor and Puppet Master banned out by HoN, who is the new drafter for the brand new Team Who, which is comprised mostly of ex-Prime Icarus players, although you wouldn't know it to look at them right now. Tremble and Swiftblade get banned out by Cluckmuck, which is... And it's ironic these teams be playing each other because Cluck is used to changing his roster every cycle, and he hasn't done that in a while. And he's going up against a team that's just added 2 players and dropped 2 others. So Time to Die and Yugobic were official adds to this team. Znoe and Teltook both left. I believe Znoe just parted ways. Teltook is on the new team Asian Reflexes, which is tagged up as Axe and has taken Ride My Rocket spot. So he left, and he was replaced by Time to Die. Yugobic is now their new hard support player, and Shortcan is their drafter. Etrin is replacing Slaskadret for this series, as Slasky is apparently unable to play. So he'll be playing the mid role, and as a result, that's a horrible noise. God damn, these American casters and they're eating. It's unbelievable. So yeah, lots of changes for Team Who, and things didn't go super well for them in the round of 8 as they lost to somebody. Who was it? Mint, which isn't that surprising. That's probably a team they should lose to, but still, this is definitely a winnable series for them, and we'll see how this new incarnation does. They've picked up Magnus, Rhapsody, and Parasite right off the bat. Hellborn going to counter with Kraken, Glacius, and Prisoner, so lots of strength initiation on both sides. Each team picking up a support, but Shortcan making sure he gets a jungler, Parasite, one of his preferred heroes. That's going to lead into bans of Souls to the Warbeast and Tempest, so let Bubbles and Clanks get taken out by Cluck. So a lot of hard carry type late game focused bans here from both teams. And you have any draft thoughts there, Boar?
Well, it was kind of like a mirror matchup until they picked Prisoner. So now, I mean, Prisoner's pretty good against Magnus, obviously, so it kind of throws off the Legion draft a bit.
Yeah. That's
Potentially.
definitely the case. Yeah, and they have a lot of like AoE stuff as well on the Hellborn team. A lot of stay here, you're not moving, Glacius ulti, Prisoner ulti, Kraken ulti, and the Legion side a little bit more single targety, ganky oriented sort of. But
Valkyrie.
Valkyrie gave me the 4th pick here for Who, and that'll probably be in Time to Die's hands, I guess. I don't know if Certus plays a Valkyrie, and I'm pretty sure in fact that he doesn't. So my guess is he'll be picking up the... What happened?
Oh, Suicide Valk.
Yeah, that's my expectation. Because I don't think Certus plays Valkyrie. I've never seen him play Valkyrie. I don't know, have you seen him play Valkyrie?
No. But I mean, it's not a hard hero. Like, you can play it.
Well, playing it decently isn't hard. Playing it really well is extremely hard because that arrow is not an easy ability to hit, but yeah. In general, not too much, not too difficult to play particularly well, and I think it is a good suicide option. It's here we're seeing more of, and the Ravener pickup means that it's going to be a suicide Valkyrie, so a little bit of a transparent draft here from Shorecan, and this is the first time I've seen him draft, so I'm expecting some good things. He is, of course, a regular co-caster, so good insight, but we'll see how that applies here. It's probably going to be a short lane Ravener with a Rhapsody pair, Valkyrie in the long lane, and Magnus middle, which is problematic for a couple of reasons. First of all, I'm not a huge Ravener fan. He's better now than he used to be, but I'm not sure if I like him as my hard carry. And secondly, you're going to put a Magnus versus Prisoner matchup in the middle lane, and that's really troubling for a team that doesn't have the best initiation. They need an early portal key on Magnus, and they're going to have to question, do we put Rhapsody middle to guard the Magnus, or do we put Rhapsody bottom to get the Raveners from farm? And both of those heroes sort of need support, but they only have one support hero.
Yeah. Another option could be to suicide the Magnus, but Time to Die is their suicide player.
So that's clearly not happening. I don't think they really realistically can, to be honest, because I mean, can they afford a 25-minute portal key from Magnus on this team? I don't think so. They need it faster than that. Like, I'm just not sure if that would work very well. Oh well.
I mean, with the Valk ulti, you may not need a portal key.
That's a good point. It would have to be timed very well, but yeah, that's certainly possible. Either way, it's going to be the Ophelia last pick for the guys on Shrek is Love, and that's following the Malakin that their 4th pick was. So, going to be Nox, aka Horsebull, on that Mally, and Ophelia in the Denver Pros' hands headed into the jungle. So, both teams are running a Woods lineup, and see how that goes. Both have solid jungle players, so would expect it to go quite well, and obviously Parasite and Ophelia, typical jungle heroes, nothing that we haven't seen a million times before. You favoring either draft at this point?
Let me think about it. I mean, they're kind of different. Like, Hellborn's draft is very tanky with heals, then Legion's draft is almost dependent on the ganks. I mean, Ravener can definitely carry, but he's got a lot of HP to go through.
Yeah, and he wants to just keep fighting as well. So he wants to gank because that's going to keep his charges up. So if he can be mobile early on, that's helpful. I mean, obviously hitting creep camps works too, but you want to hit heroes too. That's very helpful. So, I mean, that's a good point, and it actually could become a bit of a problem. I mean, you look at the burst potential for this Legion side. You have Malakin, or sorry, you have Parasite, you have Magnus to some extent when he does an ulti, and you have Ravener, who can dish out a good amount of damage pretty quickly, but you have a lot of strength heroes in the Hellborn team, plus the Ophelia hero backup, and both Malakin and Kraken have good escape mechanisms as well, so we'll see if they can actually take any cores down here. The Glacius is going to have a hell of a time, but other than that, I don't know how worried they might be. Apparently Vetches is connecting to this series as well. Oh well. I'm going to cast it anyway. Yeah, so Malakin in the top lane. Not a huge surprise there. Suicide Valkyrie for the Legion side. Again, very typical. Hellborn team going to go with the Prisoner and Glacius in middle lane up against the Magnus. So this Magnus is going to get more or less nothing. And Etran, like I said, a substitute here for Team Who. So he has not had that much competitive experience, especially recently. And we'll see how that affects these guys. And my guess is it's not going to go particularly well. especially considering this is a very crucial matchup to have for this Legion side, because really this Magnus is their initiation, and
Yeah.
he's not gonna have a great time.
Well, I'd say his job's just to not die at this point, since he's got 2 heroes that are good against Magnus, against him directly.
I mean, he can't die, but he needs to get more than nothing, because, like I said, I'm not sure if they can weather the storm of a 25-minute PK, and they just need to have even with the Valkyrie ultimate, they need to have it faster than that. Oh well, I have chosen to send the Rhapsody bottom with the Ravener to make sure that Ceratoss grabs some farm, so at the very least, Ceratoss should get off to a good start. He's already at 290 GPM, which is the highest in the game, so that's not bad at all. And the Suicide Kraken be playing by Masera in the long lane has no experience per minute and just the gold tick, so hasn't even been in range of a creep that died, much less killed one himself. And shutting down this Kraken will be very important, but it's not necessarily crucial to the Hellbourne's game plans. They also have that prisoner, so they are not reliant on the Kraken to get kills or start team fights.
Yeah.
Top lane is going to be a haste rune picked up by Glacius, so Clockmuck and a roam, and it looks like he'll be heading top with it. Time to die. He's actually jumped on, yeah, by the Malakan sword throw, and this could very likely, as going to be a Bloodlust. Got the freeze right there, and that's going to finish him off. Clockmuck actually picks up the Bloodlust on Time to Die's head. So
That was pretty well coordinated.
Yeah. And the lack of vision right there not helping at all. As the Legion team had no sight of that top rune, didn't know what it was, and Time to Die apparently didn't back off early enough. Anyway, middle lane, give me the haste once again, the freeze comes in into the hook, and there's the restrain from the shackle. Clockmuck picking up a second kill as they managed to finish off Magnus, so that's a pretty valuable rune right there. As they managed to finish off the Suicide and the middle hero. For one
that kind of start can really steamroll a game.
Yeah. Against this, what is a snowball-oriented team in the Legion team. I mean, Ravener's not as much of a snowball hero as he was, but he's still not a hero that just really, wants to lay back in the early game and play it safe. He wants to get active early. Speaking of getting active early, bottom lane Kraken in a lot of trouble. Gets a charge wave, but hits the trees. Activates a health potion right here, and he actually might be able to survive this if he can chop through the trees. Indeed, he can, and he will get out. So Masera going to survive. We're seeing teleport coming in as well. It's the almighty Glacius, who is 2-0 and 0. And provide some assistance to this Kraken, at least momentarily. Force him to back up onto the tower, but Ceratoss continuing to farm pretty damn well, as I believe he has the highest CS in the game. 24 creep kills, yes he does, so doing well on last hitting so far is Ravener, and being out GPM, but just barely by Malakan, who's picked up that assist on top of 22 creep kills. So, good times for him. Ravener going to put some more pressure onto this Kraken, who is currently level 2. He's managed to get some levels, but Ceratoss obviously dominating this bottom lane. And this is where most of Team Who is concentrated in terms of their resources, because middle lane, Etrin's at 140 GPM. He's getting nothing. Time to Die, the top lane, is getting sub 200. And both of those lanes being won handily by the Hellbourne team. Meanwhile, Shortcan's actually getting out-farmed in the woods by Ophelia, who's at 230 gold per minute, and Shortcan just around 225 himself, so about catching up tied or so, but still not doing all that well, and my expectation is Parasite will generally out-farm Ophelia, so I don't know.
Yeah, well, they had to deward their right hard camp.
Yeah, but they got it pretty early. It's not like he didn't have it.
Yeah, but I mean,
it's something to
it
consider.
slows down your first rotation, which is really efficient.
Sure. I still feel like Parasite should out-farm Ophelia. Mostly because
I haven't really been watching him though.
Yeah, I haven't been noticing what Shortcan does, but it's a combination of Shortcan is a good Parasite player, as I've said before, and they're going to jump on top of this Kraken right here, but he's going to get away. A little bit too tanky. Glacius Solution's going to head into the woods, and they should find this Parasite, but he's actually inside of a catapult, a Minotaur, one of them units.
Yeah,
So what happens when you don't play HoN for 2 weeks, or watch HoN, or look at HoN? Bad things. You forget what things are called, apparently. Kraken going to charge away once again. He will avoid the ball lightning very easily. In the top lane, Ophelia looking for gank. On to Time to Die right here. Has a Skeleton King and a Catman Champion. And they're going to dive this tower pretty damn easily. Catman Stop is there, plus the nuke from Oph, and the Denver Pro will pick up another kill on Time to Die, who's 0-2-0. So The Suicide Valkyrie having a pretty terrible time.
Yeah.
And I mean, honestly, that's not a lane she should do horribly in. The issue is they didn't give him any vision. There's no vision. I mean, they have an Ophelia in the Hellborn Woods. There was no vision to see her coming through the woods. There's no vision of the top room to spot ganks from Cluckmuck in the middle or from the Ophelia coming through the river. And that's strange to me.
Did they pull the Malik and some regen or anything like that? I didn't pay attention to it.
I don't know. I didn't pay attention to it either, but I don't think so. He's got a hatchet and a shield and 2 tangos. I don't think they pulled him in regen. I guess it's very possible. Anyway, middle lane, they're going to jump on top of the Magnus here. Prisoner ultimate going to pull him right back into the freeze, and the hook finishes off E-Train. So Mighty Marcus picking up a kill. And it's going to be 4-0 in favor of Shrek is Love. So things going on very well right here. Kraken in the bottom lane, into a lot of trouble. Gets the charge off onto Ravener, stuns him under the tower, has to try to survive, won't be able to. He's going to draw a port, but nobody's going to be able to get a counter kill, and in fact it will be cancelled. So Team Who picking up their first kill of the game, and that will keep them under a 2,000 gold deficit, but still not progressing.
One lane.
Yeah. I mean, they definitely did very well bottom. Masera is having a hell of a time, and Ceratoss is the top farmer in the game, so that's going quite well. Meanwhile, top, Valkyrie actually gets her prism off, and she's stuck in the trees. She can't leap.
Yeah, but someone's going to buy a dust.
Oh, or maybe they'll just sword throw, and yeah, Glacius dusted anyway, so another kill on time to die as they dive the tower, which is at less than half health, so my expectation is will be going down relatively soon. Ophelia, already level 7, has access to 3 creeps, if she can manage to find them. And this tower should be heavily pressured and killed in just a matter of seconds now.
Yeah, they're just going to kill it, because they've already got the ward up there.
Yep.
And they're winning so much that they don't care.
So that'll be top tower down. Goes to the Hellborn actually, despite anyway, middle lane. Cluck is gonna die as he gets jumped on by the Magnus and Parasite in addition to Yugo back on that Rhapsody. So get another kill on the Legion side. This time it's only on the support, but they'll take what they can get.
And that was with the Valkyrie.
No. Valkyrie was
no?
yeah, it was on cooldown for
yeah,
her.
no,
She tried to save herself. Yeah. Anyways, Ward of Sight will spot Valkyrie, so they know exactly where she is, but they don't have the support to jump on top of her. It is only Nox, and he's at 440 GPM, but Alkin, not a great solo killing hero, especially early on. And Valkyrie a little bit too slippery, but also she had some support from Yugo back on that Rhapsody, so Nox choosing not to engage probably was the correct decision. And we're taking a good lead early on.
Gank's coming bottom.
Yeah. And the charge actually misses right there, which is unfortunate. I'm looking for a hook, and it is going to hit. Wow, what a hit right there on that hook. They get the ball lightning on Kraken, trying to run away. They popped into his blessing there, and all of a sudden they can turn this around on Ravener, who looked like he might have got a counter kill, but no. It will be a death, so that Ophelia ultimate saving Kraken's life for the most part and allowing them to get that gank on Ceratoss. Very well timed from the Denver Pro. Meanwhile, middle lane, Magnus getting locked down by the Ophelia minions as they take down yet another tower here. Invulnerability is used. Double damage through, and Lex Teleonis is on the Parasite, but he gets frozen. 2-man Lava Surge Stun is there. They finally will kill Denver Pro for a really long time. Valkyrie ultimate is used here as well, as Glacius is trying to survive. Hook actually brings Parasite back in, and it will lock him down before he can get the counter kill on the Glacius. So that was actually a bit of a risky move, because it could have allowed Shortcan to get the kill on Cluckmuck, but ends up paying off. So nice communication right there from Shrek is Love, knowing they had the damage and the capacity to lock him down and keep him away from Glacius. And then in the end, pretty nice engagement for them right there. They take out another tower, they get a couple of kills, or they get one kill and they lose one. But as we approach 10-minute mark right here, pretty substantial lead for Ogre. And they...
Vox still on red boots.
She's trying, man. She's trying.
Well, so is Magnus. They're whole, except for Atma.
I mean, so is Magnus would work, I think, if Magnus were on the other team. Kraken's still on red boots, although he has 1,300 gold saved up, so he can buy his team boots if he wants them.
Yeah, that's kind of weird to me.
Yeah, is he just going straight portal key? I think that's what he's doing.
I guess, but Kraken often has mana issues.
That's what I was thinking as well. He's not going to have the mana to combo. Anyway, middle lane restraint does go through, and that's going to miss. We'll see if they can finish this off. This Valkyrie looks like they can. Yeah, going to pull it right back in. Sword throws there. Time to die gets taken out by the hit from Horsebull. So portal key is on Prisoner, speaking of portal keys, and that's a very early portal key from him as well, as he's sitting at 440 gold per minute. Meanwhile, they will pick off Masera on the Kraken in this Legion Woods, as they were diving looking for kills. Glacius and Ophelia providing some backup as well, but unable to find
I
anybody to
think
kill.
they should have used Ophelia ulti and Kraken could have ulted.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's probably true. Hook right there will miss on middle as Etrin manages to get out, but again, still only 190 GPM for him, so he's not having a great time. And Ravener's gone for the Abyssal Skull route, which is interesting. I would have thought Portal Key here would have been a better option, although that's probably only if they also get an early PK on Magnus or Valkyrie has a good start in the top lane. So at this point, PK route or Rav probably isn't going to do much.
I don't know. The Abyssal is pretty standard, I guess.
Is it? I have no idea how to build carry Rav.
It's what a lot of people do.
Yeah. Glacius is going to skirt on by. The Valkyrie ultimate is active, and they're going to look for somebody to kill right here. There goes the Staccatos on the Prisoner. They're going to jump him entirely. The Magnus on hit as well, but only him. Release the Kraken is right there. Rhapsody ultimate going to save a lot of damage, though. It finally is canceled. Face Hug goes through as Ugovic dies, and Denver Pro's the second one to fall. Here comes Magnus channeling the Eruption as Ravener is also going to fall, but a nicely timed Magnus ulti. Kraken trying to live, and he's not going to get out thanks to the leech used right there, but it's still a Death on Shortcan. Magnus now getting chased down. Will try to die himself to Ancients. That's not going to work, and Etrin also gets cleaned up, so it ends up being a 4 for 2 in favor of Shrek Is Love, as they will now also take the Ancient stacks. And Nox is getting out of control very quickly. He's already picked up an Alchemist Bones to help combat that Parasite. And that's going to only increase his already substantial ability to farm. So we're going to see a 600 GPM Malik in here in just a few moments as these Ancients get finished off. He's already finished off his Whispering Helm as well, and he's about a third of the way to the Shrunken Head.
Jeez.
Yeah.
I mean, that looked like a pretty well fought team fight by Legion, but there were 10k gold behind.
Yeah, I think that's the big problem. And they were also down.
Maybe it wasn't 10k anymore. Or did they bring it down to 6k from 10k from that fight?
No, it was like 5.5, I think when it started.
Oh.
But I mean, it's 13 minutes in, right? So 5,500 gold at 13 minutes is still a lot of gold. Like that's a pretty substantial difference. And the way they started it as well, they used a bunch of their abilities to kill the Kraken, but he still got his ultimate off and pretty much all of the spells. So, like, it didn't work out all that. Like, Magnus Lava Surge only hit one person, and they also used the shortcans first on him, and Ravener and Rhapsody jumped him as well. So there was a bunch of bursts on one hero who still got all his spells off, and then they didn't have anything else to follow it up. So anyway, Ravener going to get spotted out right here by the Ward of Sight from the Hellborn team. Looks like Ravener is going to try to turn it around actually on a Prisoner, and he won't be able to do so as the hook comes through, helps to finish him off, and the 3 heroes here for the Hellborn team will be sufficient to kill Ceratoss and prevent him from snowballing a little bit here. Shortcan in the Parasite, in the Skeleton King, going to find the Glacius, gets the freeze, but gets out of it. Lexelianos is there, face hug through as well, and Rhapsody Staccatos will help finish off Clock Muck. So Valkyrie Prism gets activated here to try to get somebody in or away? I don't really know. Anyway, Valkyrie Arrow did hit a creep right there. And it will be 4 heroes grouped in the bottom lane, the Legion side, but the only going to get that 1 kill. Meanwhile, very nice counter push on top as Ophelia and Malakin will be able to take out a tier 2 tower. So Ogre lose a hero, but they're going to gain some objectives, as the Legion side look like they're going to defend this actually. Cliff Fortification is used. Lava Surge goes through onto only Ophelia though, and the tower is definitely going to fall. Questions will be denied. No, it won't. Looks like they actually get some kills out of this. Malakin going to get 1 kill, and there goes the Denver Pro. So it's 1-for-1 right now. Malakin trying to get away as he's got his sword back in 3 seconds. The question is, can he survive? Nice Prisoner, going to jump on top of Shortcan. There's the Shackle. He's going to get inside of a creep though, sword throw away from Malakin, and he's going to survive. Kraken coming in with his brand new portal key, completely misses the charge. Release Kraken also not going to hit. Leech goes through, and Magnus hits 2 men with his Lava Surge. Ball of Lightning also in onto Prisoner. Shortcan trying to do something, but he actually dies because he has way too little health. Prisoner and Glaciers both very low, but can't get killed. Kraken wants to go back in, but that ends up being a bad move as Ravener finishes him off. Freeze is too much for Ceratoss though, and he still will die. So A lot of very low health heroes on the Hellborn side. In fact, 3 heroes, all of whom were below 500 health as that fight ended. But in the end, it's still, what, a 3 or something like that for 2? Definitely fight in favor of Ogre, especially considering they got the tower.
Yeah. Poor Kraken. Missed like everything as well.
Yeah. He missed his ult, he missed 2 charges. He hit the torrent, but I'm not going to give him too much credit for that.
You need control.
It's pretty hard to miss that spell. Yeah, and Messera he's having a little bit of a difficult game. 210 GPM isn't that bad, but he was boxed out pretty heavily early. He's only level 10. He'd really like to have a level 2 ultimate. And the early portal key isn't doing him that much good because I think of the issues we talked about before. He just doesn't have the mana to sustain. Even with 605 base mana and the mana battery, he's not...
Well, I mean, he just then picked up his PK and was able to use every spell.
Yeah.
But
I mean, he used 2 charges, his portal key, his torrent, and his ultimate, but... I don't know. With a little bit more tankiness, he would have survived as well. Like, if he had Steam Boots on Strength, he was going to live in that fight.
Yeah. I guess, now that I think about it, with their Glacius Aura, that's why he's able to go PK.
Yeah, that's a good point. I hadn't considered that. And they have
Because
Glacius on level 3.
normally you actually would not be able to use your full combo, I think.
Yeah, he's getting plus 150 mana from that because Glacius is maxing his mana aura, which is a build I like. It's not always the correct build, especially if you have a lot of fighting going on early. But, especially in this lineup, when you have 3 strength cores, that additional mana from Glacius can be extremely valuable.
Pretty good pick, and you can freeze Parasite.
Yeah. Glacius, good hero. One of the better supports in the scene right now, of course.
Yeah. Thing is, people have been picking a curse to counter it lately.
Because the shield takes off the freeze and the thunder blast.
Yeah. I don't know if
Shield's
it's
a
like
good-
used as a direct counter, but it gets picked more often against the Glacius, I
Yeah.
feel like.
Simian target
I mean,
eliminated.
a curse didn't really get any changes, I don't think, in the patch, right?
Yeah, he did. He got... You can,
Oh,
like,
the instant
put
cast
the
and fire
shield on
shield,
instantly.
Right. Yeah, that does make a big difference. The cast speed on that was way too long before. It was really stupid.
And I
Sorry
think
about
they made its fire, or his nuke, faster as well, but not instant.
Yeah, that didn't seem like as big an issue to me, but I suppose it's still helpful. The fire shield change is actually a substantial one. Just one that I'd forgotten about. Anyway, it looks like the Hellborn will be taking out a Tier 2, Tier 1 tower in the bottom lane, so that'll complete their collection of Tier 1 towers. Meanwhile, Shuriken inside of a Ballista trying to do some damage to buildings in the middle lane, but Portal Key's going to go off through actually Shrunken Head and PKs everywhere. We'll see how many people Prisoner can pull back in. It's just the one, actually. Rhapsody ultimate going to save Shuriken for a while, but that's going to be enough. And they go for the dust off. Kraken ultimate does hit a couple. There goes the Magma Disruption, though, before the Prisoner hook came through. Nice stun from Etrin as well. Will hit 3 heroes. Somehow nobody dead yet, as it looks like they might all survive. No, there's the Shackle onto Magnus with the Portal Key from Prisoner, and the hook will not hit, but it's not going to matter. No, it will matter. Lava Surge going to get him away, but he's got a Portal Key back up in a couple of seconds. Here comes Kraken anyway. Rhapsody trying to save people and deactivate the Portal Key from Mr. Prisoner, and they will be able to continue to do so, and Etrin going to get out of there. Actually, Prisoner is the one that's going to get turned on, and he's going to die. Here comes Malakin back in, though, with the sword throw. Yugovic's going to fall. TP from Shuriken is going to be canceled by the stun, and that'll be a second kill, so they finally do finish off that Prisoner. To get Magnus out of there, but it cost them 2 heroes. And in the end, not a great trade. Valkyrie Arrow going to completely whiff, as it was an interesting angle right there from Tack to die. Anyway, Malakin wants more, but a Portal Key away from Ravener, and he will survive no problem. By the way, speaking of Malakin, had of course the Shrunken Head for that fight, and that was pretty big.
Yeah, but they were able to kite him, like, really well, like, with the Valk ulti, because his team wasn't there with Dust, he just, like, basically did nothing.
Hellborn have overrun a Legion
Yeah,
FOB.
and at the same time, I mean, the Legion side, they don't feel like they have very much damage right now. And
Not enough, yeah.
especially when you factor
they
the
got
Shrunken Head.
level
it's
11
just-
mag ult now, so that's...
Right, but and then you have the Shrunken Head and you have the Ophelia ultimate, and
Yeah.
it basically cancels it. Like Magnus ulti just doesn't do much right now. Valkyrie has pretty much no damage presence. Look at the damage charts right here. Yeah, I said that before. I even looked at the charts, and Valkyrie, 3% damage. Not great. Not great.
Yeah, that's bad.
here is just not having a really impact in this game, so unfortunate because I really did think Time to Die was a good pickup for this team. He's one of the better free agent players, and I've been very impressed with his suicide play in general. He's bounced around a little bit on a couple of different teams.
Well, he got Haste ganked, Ophelia ganked,
Yeah.
and then Ophelia ganked behind the tower, and then I think Ophelia ganked again behind the tower.
Right. Which I think comes down to, I just don't know why that wasn't warded. Like, if you put a ward up
Maybe it was
there...
like, I got this, boys, I got this.
I really think if you put a ward up there, Valkyrie can win the lane against Malikan in a 1v1 pretty easily. Like, unless he was pulled massive amounts of regen, which I don't think he was. It's Ophelia, so it could have been. But, I mean, Valkyrie's got a good escape mechanism. He's got a range advantage.
Yeah, he's got a good chance as long as you get the right items and stuff.
So the lack of vision really hurt him. Poor Sarah missing their Kraken charge on a target that was teleporting away. Just mistimed. Oh well. Sad times, but still works. Legion said we'll stack their ancients here, so Team Who, their lead or their disadvantage continues to grow as they're down 13 kill goal. Valkyrie Prisoner going to be active right here, but he's got a shackle on him, so it doesn't matter. Dust goes through as well. 5-second arrow going to be onto the Ophelia. Shuriken is inside of his puzzle box minion, and we see the rest of the Legion side looking to try to help him out. Magmus with a nice stun onto not only the one, but actually the hook is not going to connect. Magmus regeneration rune active is going to still be active. Steam Bath going to let him finish him off. Kraken release going to Kraken right on top of Rapidum, but yeah, the Rhapsody ultimate to save everybody. They're just trying to prisoner pretty easily, but it's going to be Certas that also falls. Not a great 1-for-1 as you go back in the Rhapsody also dies. Ruption Gang channel right here. Portal key in, but nothing really getting hit. Denver Pro should die, but he's actually getting locked down on the Magmus as Shortcan falls in the background as well. It's 4 heroes down for the Legion side. Only the Valkyrie will be able to get away. His Time to Die did not have too much of an impact in that team fight, but really just very well played and coordinated by this Ogre team. And it seems like they're losing, you know, 1 or 2 heroes every single one of these fights, but a lot of heroes are getting away very low, their abilities are being used effectively, and they're actually getting kills, as opposed to Team Who are just not able to finish heroes off. And it's becoming a problem. Like, that Ophelia should have died. She had like 80 health. Anyway, we're going to see an initiation right here onto Valkyrie. Gets charged into the woods. Going to leap go actually into a freeze and a Tundra Blast. Denver Pro will pick up the kill. So pretty good flank right there from Ogre. And bad leap direction from Time to Die. Probably didn't really want to go that way. Another pickoff will extend their lead to nearly 20,000 gold and 15,000 experience here. So Shrek is Love, well in control of this game, 660 GPM on the Malikan. He's 8-0 and 10, so Nox having a hell of a time. And you look at the farm on the Legion side, really nobody has anything except for Certas, who's at 350 GPM, and that's not exactly the greatest. All other heroes sub 250, compared to everybody above 250 on the Shrek is Love side. I think it's safe to say this game is well in their control.
Also, when you don't have map control and you have a Ravnor, like, he's not going to have full stacks.
Yeah, Matt, he's going to get jumped, speaking of that, so he's going to lock down pretty easily right here, and we're going to see a 2-man Lava Surge stun. Shortgang going to get inside of a creep right here as the Kraken Illusion going to chase them down. Hook is not going to connect on the actual Shortcan minion as they hit the Puzzle Box Wizard. So it ends up being the 1 kill onto Certas, but the Prisoner Ultimate didn't do all that much. And Hellborn will still get a tower out of this, though. Symbol of Rage is finished on Malikan. Looks like he's going for Strong Cure for the Rift Shard, so that's a fine pickup for me. He doesn't really have a lot of inventory space, and the Symbol will make it so that he's unkillable, really, in these fights.
Yeah.
If he wasn't already. By the way, they have Alchemist Bones on Oath as well. They really do not like this parasite. They have a Glacius and 2 Alchemist Bones. It's kind of funny.
Maybe Ophelia got mad that Malikan probably kept using his to farm and never for team fight.
I mean, it's like...
I remember there was one team that we casted that had a Malikan with Alchemist that never used it on the parasite. even when he
Yeah,
had it.
yeah, that's happened several times. Various players. I can't think of a single worse hero item combination than Ophelia and Alchemist Bones.
A valiant effort, warriors.
Okay, well I guess the game is over now.
Hellborn flag still flies!
That's interesting. Well,
Well, I didn't really see a way that they could get out of.
I didn't
Their fault.
either, but at the same time, I don't. That was just like a really weird timing, I guess. So, oh
Yeah,
well.
like not after death, you mean?
Right. It's just like, the game's over. Well, new Team Who, not looking like they have the stuff of old Prime Icarus, as they're in the losers bracket round 1, which means that they would technically face demotion to gold if the fact that this were not the last cycle of HoN Tour, season 3.
Damn.
So, yeah, one loss away from going 0-4 in cycle 8, which is probably not how they envisioned their new roster doing right off the bat. So.
Maybe they're just baiting people to not practice against them during the qualifiers.
Yeah, maybe. I don't think that's the case, but maybe. I don't know, you could be right. Oh well,
Kind of like my team's fake CC
there you go.
strategy.
Yeah, Frog No Hippo all of a sudden is making some noise. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So watch out, guys.
It's a few days until our showing, I guess.
Yeah,
we're in
good.
Group B.
So we had a good cycle, which we shouldn't talk about because I haven't casted any Gold Cycle 8 games. I'm still in the round of 8 in Cycle 7, or round of 16.
Oh, we got money. We
Hey,
finally
don't
made-
what?
What? No, we
Spoilers?
didn't. Oh, we made a lot. Well, I don't know. We might have
Just
made
stop
a lot
talking.
of money, and maybe
Just
we
stop
made
talking.
some.
Nope. Just stop talking. Just.
Alright, but I'm here to co-cast. Okay.
Yeah, that's true. You are here to co-cast. Everybody was the entire time I was gone. Everybody was like, "Let's cast," blah, blah, and then I'm like, "Fine, let's cast," and nobody's here. Unbelievable. Anyway, do you actually have anything else to say about that game, or should we move on to the next one?
Just move on, I guess. I couldn't really. They basically got outlaned,
Yeah.
and then. I don't know.
I think they got
They
outlaned.
just couldn't find an edge, and then outlaned into outplayed, I would say. And they had some advantages as well, like Kraken didn't have to get treads. You could go
Yes.
straight PK, that kind of thing.
I
But
think
then
they,
you don't even need a huge gold advantage, like that's an entire 1k you don't need right away.
They could have done okay if they hadn't lost both top and mid so hard. But yeah, like you can't lose 2 lanes like that and then split
There
the
was no
jungle.
way to win that mid.
Well, there was if they'd laned differently,
Oh yeah.
but they probably weren't going to. Even if they had laned substantially differently, Magnus probably wasn't going to have a great game just because the prisoner was on the other team and it's just such a hard counter. But
Thing was, their draft was not flexible, I would say.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
their lanes were forced, and then that let Hellborn either pick or lane their heroes to beat it. If that makes sense.
They theoretically could have laned Magnus Suicide and Valkyrie Middle, but it would have been a little bit awkward, and it was pretty predictable coming out of the drafting phase what they were going to do. I mean, we basically managed to call it immediately. This is what their lanes are going to be, and then they put the heroes on the players, and it was really obvious what their lanes were going to be. So,
Yeah.
get it together, Shorcan. Unbelievable.
But I kind of expected the Malikan to have a support with him, at least from the start, but he was able to do really well without a support.
Especially considering Prisoner versus Magnus 1v1 still is a pretty heavy favorite of Prisoner. So
I think Boxy would have liked to play that Valk versus Malikan,
yes,
like legit 1v1.
I think
quite a while.
he would have done a lot better, and I think that Tree would have put a ward up there to make sure he didn't die 3 times. So,
Yeah.
I don't know, we'll chalk it up to both, but that's going to do it for Game 1 here, as it looks like Shrek is Love will be taking a 1-0 series advantage, and they want to avoid getting knocked out of Cycle 8 this quickly, so we'll see if they can do so, or if Team Who is going to regain some of their focus, come back, and take a series win. Either way, nobody's getting demoted, so that's good, because we are, in the midst of the playoffs right now. But we'll be back in just a
It's
moment.
all about that seeding, though.
Yeah, it is all about that. I'm not sure if it matters for these teams, to be honest. A
I
lot
don't
of
think-
a lot of these teams are locked in anyway. Yeah. Oh well, we'll be back with game 2 in just a moment, guys. So stick around.